Five Out Basketball, 5 segments, 5 takes. This is the podcast for NBA conversations. This is 5 Out Basketball, and it starts in 3, 2, 1.
But now we're gonna move on to another controversial segment. Everton came up with this idea, so he's gonna lead the dance on this one. Everton, give an introduction. What's about to go down?
All right, so for a bit of a background, I don't know if you guys heard about Rudy Gobert's quote about not being an all-star, but I don't have the quote in front of me, so I'm gonna kind of paraphrase it. He basically said essentially like, "Oh, when I'm at my Hall of Fame speech, I'll laugh at this," and I'm not gonna say what I would think already. I'm gonna just say people were like, "Bro thinks he's a Hall of Famer." So this segment is called Hall of Fame or Not, or Hoff or Not.
Fire.
So just got about 5 players. Me and Joe are gonna share our thoughts if we think these guys are Hall of Famers or not. Now we didn't pick any like crazy young players because there's no point in doing that. That's kind of stupid. So first player on the list, Rudy Gobert.
I'm gonna give you the most boring answer of all time. I'm sorry to start off this way. I need to see how these playoffs go first. After this playoffs, I will have an answer for Rudy Gobert. I don't think it's a unanimous no. It's just how level head he's been. Like he's consistently been the best defensive player in the NBA for like what 6 to 8 seasons now. Like the guy is just disgusting. Yeah, I know he has no bag offensively, but here's another thing I want people to consider. It's not that hard to get in the NBA Hall of Fame. I know that's crazy to think about,
Damn.
but they have some like I don't want to say bums. That's a little bit of a stretch, but they have some players like, are you really Hall of Fame caliber in the NBA, like Hall of Fame? And I think Rudy Gobert is good enough to be right on that borderline to get close. If this playoffs a sell, I'm gonna say no, but just I think he has the potential to get in. I think he got a little bit too much hate for that comment.
So I was gonna say what you just said, where people always think of it like the baseball or football Hall of Fame. The NBA Hall of Fame is just not. It's not even the NBA. It's the basketball Hall of Fame. It's not that deep. Like I'm not gonna say they should be letting anybody in, but like
They be cutting it close.
they be kind of close. Like you know that meme of the polar bear who's in like Texas or something. Like how did bro end up here? Like that's how that meme is sometimes, or that's how the NBA Hall of Fame is like. So, but I'll read off his accolades.
Mm.
So this is a 3-time All-Star. This is a total rebounds champ in 2022, which not miscellaneous, but whatever. You know, he was a block champ, 4-time All-NBA, 6-time All-Defense, and 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. I think it's hard to leave out a guy who's put up that type of a career.
Mhm.
Granted, his playoff is kind of when you have accolades like that, and I didn't even consider this is going to be 4-time DPOY at
Yeah,
that point.
and that's gonna
And
tie him for the most all time.
see, so I feel like at that point you can't not have a guy with that level of like arguably a top 5, top 10 defensive player ever.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a Hall of Famer to me.
Yeah.
So
No, absolutely. It's just I think Rudy Gobert would have more All-Star appearances if he just had a bag offensively. But like no, like nothing against Rudy Gobert, but no one is looking forward to the Rudy Gobert All-Star appearances. No one. It's just like,
yeah,
oh yeah, put back dunk, woohoo. That's not what the All-Star game is for. Like we want to see people ready to go famous, and Rudy Gobert's not chucking that thing from half court. It's not happening.
nah,
So I think he could have more All-Star appearances, but it's just the style of play doesn't fit that. It's just incredible defender. I think having him outside the top 5 might be a little ridiculous just because he's about to be tied for most DPOYs ever, and he's still got more
yeah,
time to get more. It's like it's
exactly,
dwindling a little bit, but he still has time to get another one.
yeah.
So I think it's impossible to say Rudy Gobert should be. I mean, I'd like to see a little more playoff success. So I think this Timberwolves like performance could like change his legacy,
Mhm.
but I gotta show Rudy Gobert's flowers.
Yeah, I think he got a lot of unnecessary hate about that
Yeah,
comment because
yeah,
people don't know ball. They just see, oh, he got cooked in that one playoff run, and that's
uh huh,
all they know about him. But
yeah.
people, honestly, Rudy Gobert is one of the most hated NBA players. I
No,
don't
he
even
is.
really know why, because I don't even hate him as a I don't even think he's done anything like as a person. I've always liked Rudy
I could
Gobert. I've
think of
never really
one.
you said, oh,
Yeah, he's a
well,
lockdown defender, and he locked down the NBA and
yeah,
got shut down during the
yeah.
pandemic.
Well, you know what?
No one can defend at that level.
If that's why you hate him, hey, whatever. But some people hated him before that, which is I'm like, why?
Yeah.
But whatever.
It's just because he's not a flashy player, which is unfortunate. People like to see people that want to go famous and are in these highlight reels. There
Yeah.
will never be a viewed Rudy Gobert highlight reel. No one's ever
Nah.
tuning in for that. Like
Nah.
he does not have a Tavon Austin type highlight reel. Like it's just
Hey, you cooked. Yo, I used to
yeah.
watch that every day,
Yeah, I
bro.
still do. I tried showing a girl to it one time. She goes, "What are you showing me?" I was like, "Just sit back."
Just
Like,
sit back.
yeah,
Do
just
your
trust.
homework on Tavon Austin being the
Yeah,
GOAT, bro.
we're so
Oh my
real.
goodness.
Let's not get side tangent. Like,
Yeah, 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 you're right. So the next player, which I don't think is a crazy one again, but Paul George,
hmm.
Hall of Fame or not?
I mean, it's got to be a Hall of Fame. If Paul George isn't in the Hall of Fame, I'd be so disappointed. I think one bad pandemic playoff series is like could just completely change people's perceptions on Paul George. Yeah, dude, he's just what he did in Indiana has been incredible. He's still been great for LA. You know, he's had a cold couple of games for the Clippers recently, and I've seen some hilarious memes. What's up? What's up?
My computer's about to die. Do you want to just cut this little part out?
Yeah, I got you.
You could do that, right?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Let me just grab my charger real quick. My bad.
No, you all good.
Yeah.
We good?
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah, here, I would say just re-ask the Paul George thing.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. Let me know when you're ready. All right. So the next person up, which I don't think is that controversial either, to be honest. Paul George, Hall of Fame or not?
Yeah, people what one pandemic season just ruined their perception on Paul George. Paul George he literally changed the way people viewed Indiana post Reggie Miller. Like that run was incredible, and he's still been great for the Clippers outside of that series. You know, he's been a little shaky recently, but like I'm not gonna rule him out because he had a couple bad games. The memes have been hilarious, dude. Like this is the one thing that's gonna hurt Paul George's late. Well, there's two things. One, the memes people make on these guy, like he is like so violated. Like I know it's like there's like a meme where I see like all the Pacers or all the Clippers players in the court like Paul George, you need a clutch shot. You're shooting over 5. He's like, and then it's like one of his podcasts where it's like, so what got you guys in the NBA? And it's like dude, people are so bogus for that. And the second one, which is gonna hurt him, is every famous buzzer beater is hit on Paul George. It's the
Oh my goodness.
craziest thing. I
It's a
feel so bad.
10-minute compilation, bro.
10 minutes.
There's a
How
10
does
minute
that happen?
compilation. I don't even, okay, so the other meme? I think was it Paul George? He was wearing a Where's Waldo costume for Halloween.
Yeah.
And people
Oh,
on
dude.
Twitter like, bro, he better lock in the playoffs because this is gonna come back to hurt him. But
Where's P?
oh my god, it's gonna get ugly. Please, please, please don't sell in the playoffs. But the thing with Paul George, right? With that 10-minute compilation, it's bad, but it just shows that he's always guarding the best player. Like he's always
Absolutely.
guarding the guy to take the last shot. And when you look at some of the shots, yo, you gotta remember these dudes are like superstars. Like they're gonna make these, like the Dame shot. What are you really supposed to do in that situation?
Yeah.
Like
Hit him.
realistically, like exactly, like what are you supposed to do? Like he even jumped before Dame like shot the ball to mess up the shot. Dude took a step back from like 50 feet away. Like, what do you want? Like, I know he said it's a bad shot, and people are like, oh, he's just salty. But genuinely, like, if it's not Dame or Curry, that's just a dumb shot. Let's just
Yeah.
be honest. Like, that's
That's
just a
Denzel
dumb shot.
Valentine range.
Oh my God. That clip is so, bro. That and the commentator's reaction when side tangent.
No.
But
Shout out
like,
Stacey King.
yeah, shout out to, yeah, that, bro. Oh my goodness. But like, yeah, I think like in that type of situation, bro, what are you supposed to do? Like, there's
Mm.
really nothing else you can do that would make sense. So I'm not mad at it, but looking at his accolades to read it off, 9-time All-Star, 6-time All-NBA,
Mhm.
all rookie team, which that's miscellaneous, but
Yeah.
whatever. 4-time all defense and most improved player in 2013. And
Four,
also top 3 in MVP in 2019.
yeah. Four team all defense. Like, where's the love for that? Like, Paul George's always like been an underrated defender. It's like it's kind of hard to like find some bats. He's like, oh, that's a bad Paul George season. Like, Paul George is incredible,
Yeah.
and not like I think it's such an underrated factor why he should be in the Hall of Fame. you know how many people at our age were like growing up watching Paul George and like were inspired by like what he was trying to do
Yeah.
against LeBron. Like Paul George had such an influence on like our age,
Yeah,
which
bro.
is that's impact you can't make a stat for, and that's something that's
Yeah.
always going to be considered. So I think it's so hard to rule him out.
Yeah. And two things, like you just said with influence, like he's your like when you make a player, like that's a player you try to make, like
Yeah.
a 6'9" wing who can dribble, shoot, pass, defend, dunk. Like he's literally like the pause, but like the perfect player.
Yeah.
Like literally nothing, no flaw. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? And look, him having that theme song, he's Hall of Famer. No, I'm joking, but I
That's
think
so
he's Hall
real.
of Fame. Like considering it's won the Basketball Hall of Fame, this people might not like this. If T Mac is a Hall of Famer, I think
Mhm.
PG's a Hall of Famer.
100%.
So I don't see
100%.
any reason not to have Paul George.
Yeah. So who's player number 3?
Player number 3 is LaMarcus Aldridge.
Can you read off the accolades for us, please?
Okay, accolades: 7-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA, and All-Rookie Team.
I think this might be my first no of the series. It's just like the 7-time All-Star, 5 All-NBA. That's cool and all, but like the Trailblazers never had crazy success. He never did too much. Like he scored a lot of points. I'll give him that. But like he never really revolutionized the game. You won't really walk down the streets. Someone's like, "Oh, dude, those LaMarcus Aldridge days." Like it's not something really people are like reminiscing on. It's just like not a big impact player, and it's like it's not like a strong enough resume to get him in as well.
Yeah, so I think he's gonna fall into that category of Hall of Really Good. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's fine. Like there are guys who are gonna be on that list, and I think he's one of them. Like, in his prime, one of the best mid-range shooters, like literally money.
Mm,
And I watched this game live. Even I think he was on the Spurs too. He was like 56. So he was cooking my Thunder
dang.
team.
Yeah.
But regardless, the accolades just are not there. Like you're talking about 7-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA. Like that shows you were a good player for a long period of time. Not long, but like a good amount of time, but never really ended up winning anything. So I think LaMarcus is one of those guys who's just Hall of Really Good,
Mm,
but just I don't know. Hall of Fame, I don't know. That's just too
the
high. I
stretch.
don't think that's too
Yeah, and
much.
like I know this is saying a lot about the NBA Hall of Fame, but I think we're like really just giving a lot of discredibility if LaMarcus Aldridge gets in.
Yeah, like he could maybe definitely on a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think that's not happening. He could maybe after a few attempts or whatever, but I don't see him as a first ballot Hall of Famer.
No shot. And
All right. Why are you smiling? You know who's next, don't you?
no, I don't know who's next. I have no idea.
No idea. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and do this real quick. And then next guy, Joakim Noah.
I was dreading this part. This was another reason why like this isn't a fun episode to be a Bulls fan.
You want me to read his accolades first, or you wanna
You go ahead, read the accolades for us.
all right, so 2-time All-Star, 2014. Man, that 2014 Joakim Noah, man. But whatever. 2014 All NBA, 3-time All Defense, and 2014 Defensive Player of the Year.
It's a no. It's so painful. This is a no. I mean, that first All NBA team, Joakim Noah, top 5 voting for MVP. You just had to be there. Like,
You had to be there.
yeah,
Oh my God.
that was
No
a
Derrick
treat.
Rose. He carried the ball. Go ahead, bro. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
no, it was a special time, dude. I was maybe in elementary school when this was going on. Like, it made you love the sport. Joakim Noah is forever a Chicago legend. If he even got a statue in front of the stadium one day, I would not be surprised. Joakim Noah is a legend of the city, but maybe he's in the Hall of Chicago. Like, that's about. Maybe
Yeah,
you'll see
like
him like in front of the Union Station one day. Like NBA
yeah.
Hall of Fame, just it's the resume's a stretch. He didn't win anything. I mean, he had won some like awards, but like not much team success to go with it. And so it pains me to say I love Joakim Noah, but it's a no.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. I've actually seen him in person. Extremely tall dude, by the
Mm,
way. Obviously, he's really tall, but it just showed me, man, these NBA dudes are like huge, bro.
yeah.
Pause. But like that 2014 season, bro. I look, like I said, I'm a Thunder fan, but being a Bulls, like a secondary Bulls fan that year, like knowing Derrick Rose, came back from his torn ACL just to play only 10 games was already depressing. but Joakim Noah's energy and leadership
It's unmatched.
and everything, like he was doing everything, bro. And his passing, look, he ain't Jokic, but Joakim Noah could pass the ball, bro.
Yeah,
Like
no,
he was a
real.
solid passer, and like defensive player of the year, like everything. Look, like you said, Bulls legend. I think every Bulls fan loves Joakim Noah.
Mhm.
You know, shout out to Cleveland. And you know what? Hey, I'm not a LeBron hater, but for the Bulls fans who hated LeBron, I know you love Joakim Noah. I know you
Yeah.
love Joakim Noah, bro.
Nah, it's so real. So real.
So I know you hate it. So I think, like I said, Hall of really good, Hall of Chicago, but
Mhm.
not Hall of Fame.
No, no chance. Sorry, Joakim Noah.
Yeah. This last one, it's Derrick Rose, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut the BS. This is a Hall of Famer. This is a Hall of Famer. Listen, the Hall of Fame is supposed to be for the best players in NBA history. And if there was ever one season where you were the best player, that you're automatically in. Like I feel like that's the golden ticket to the Hall of Fame. Some people disagree because like the longevity wasn't there, but there was legit a point he was the guy of the NBA, and that's what Hall of Fame's all about. It's about the best players, and there was a point where Derrick Rose was the best player. That's enough to get in the Hall of Fame, no question.
So I'm gonna say a few things. I do think he's Hall of Famer, so by the way. So anybody who
Ooh,
was like who was
I was
scared I
about
was
to
gonna
start
say no.
swinging. I swear to God, like
Look, I'm from Chicago, bro. If you're from Chicago or even a Bulls fan and you don't like Derrick Rose, I'm gonna need you to move cities.
yeah, yeah.
Simple as
I'll
that.
gatekeep Chicago, like
Like skedaddle. You don't
yeah,
need to be here. But nonetheless, I'll read his accolades before I give my reasoning. 3-time All-Star, 2011 All-NBA, All Rookie, Rookie of the Year, and 2011 MVP.
that's all you
So
need.
my few reasons for Derrick Rose: one, at his peak, dude, special, just special, man. Like me and my friends get arguments about Derrick Rose and Westbrook stuff. But Derrick Rose is a special player,
Mhm.
and he'd be the first MVP to not be in the Hall of Fame, if I'm not mistaken, if he were to not
That's
be in the Hall of
correct.
Fame. So I just don't know if they'll do that to him. And then his impact on like the whole city, like
Uh huh.
Chicago, we love Derrick Rose out here. So
Yeah.
it's hard to say no. But I also think a big thing for him and for some of these other guys, can you tell the story of the NBA without mentioning Derrick Rose? I just don't think you can. Like, I feel like
Oh my
if you
God.
were to go by every season and have to tell a story, you're gonna Derrick Rose's name is gonna get mentioned. Like you
Mm.
can't not like with Joakim, it pains me to say, but you might be able to skip past
The Joakim
Joakim's
Noah
name if you're
chapters.
telling a story
Yeah.
about the NBA. LaMarcus, you might be able to do that too. I don't know.
Yeah.
But with Derrick Rose, you have to mention Derrick Rose. And any
Mm.
story, if you're telling a story about the entire history of the NBA, you're gonna hear Derrick Rose's
Yeah.
name. So
Like,
I think that right there is enough for me to just
yeah.
say, like, yeah, I think he's a Hall of Famer. Like he's an
Mhm.
MVP. I granted short prime, very short prime, but even the years following his like I'm not gonna say fall off because that sounds like kind of harsh, but like
Yeah.
him getting injuries, whatever,
Yeah.
he was still pretty good. Like up
Yeah.
until the past 2 years, maybe
Mhm.
like his stint with the Knicks, 18 points per game, like he was
Yeah.
pretty solid. I'm not gonna mention the Cavs here. That
Yeah.
was just weird. That was a weird time. But
Yeah.
Minnesota,
Dude,
look,
I watched the Jeff T podcast today when he like talked about when he scored when D Rose
oh
scored
my
50.
God, that
They were
50-point game.
bawling their eyes out,
I
bro.
cried that game because like it was Halloween
Uh-huh.
and I just came back from trick or treating, right? And I'm like, I saw somebody say like report like Derrick Rose got 40 or something. I'm like, wait, what? Hold on. Turn the game on instantly. When he got that 50 point and then his interview, he was crying. I was like, make a grown man cry,
Yeah,
bro.
Snicker bars in hand and everything, bro. Like,
I was bawling, bro, because just knowing how much he's been through and all that, that was special. And then even his years following the Timberwolves, like when he was back with the Knicks and even Detroit, like he was still solid. So
yeah,
I think Derrick Rose, Hall of Famer, man. It's hard not to say
yeah,
he's, say
and
what you
like,
want about him being a top 10 point guard of all time, which I'm not gonna get into that, but
yeah.
yeah, Hall of Famer.
And just like how many iconic moments has Derrick Rose like produced? Like no one has that highlight. Like his buzzer beater against Cleveland, where he just
Yeah, that
ice cold, man. And
ice
then
cold.
his poster on the Suns, man. Like
Oh my God.
like
Andragic. Oh my God.
Derrick Rose made Chicago, man. Especially being like a Chicago kid too. Like
Yeah. Oh, everything about
his
it.
story's incredible. Like I don't think the Bulls will have another Derrick Rose. They're try-harding with Io, bro. Like, you are
They
not
have
him, bro. You are
no.
not him.
One more thing about Derrick Rose, why he is a Hall of Famer. His middle school team blew out my team by 30. So yeah, just thought that. Like, bro, this short story. So this is like 5th grade, and me and my school, we got to the playoffs, and we made it all the way to like the city championship game, right? And I'm like, yes, like we're gonna win a championship, like we're ready. And then I hear the team we're playing. Oh yeah, this is Derrick Rose's old middle school.
It's over.
I'm like, oh my God, of course.
Yeah.
And then, bro, at halftime, the score was 42-12. I said, okay, yeah, there's a reason why they are here, and we are just not on that level.
Yeah. You just beat traffic at that, right?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, okay, it's tough. But yeah, nonetheless, Simeon, everything. Yeah, Derrick Rose, Chicago legend. Yeah, Hall of Famer.
Thank you so much for tuning into this segment of the 5 Out Podcast. I am Joey LeMaster, and me and Everton are so thankful for your guys' support. If you want to keep supporting us, please check out the full podcast on Spotify and follow our TikTok account. Both of those will be in the bio, and make sure to leave a like and stay smooth.